I don't know. For me, it's, in my kind of, like I said, stepping back and looking at it, it just seems like it takes less skill now to be a deer hunter.
No question.
Uh,
Admittedly, even on my end, that's,
Yeah, no, and we all use it. I'm not saying that. I mean,
Yeah.
I use it. I'm gonna be the first to tell you, I use technology.
Yeah.
I was slow to the game, but I'm here now.
Yeah.
And I ain't going back.
Yeah.
But it's just like the old fashioned learning how to do something the hard way.
Yeah.
Kind of goes away.
Yeah.
That bothers me a little bit.
Here we go.
This segment's brought to you by Woodsman Custom Calls.
Man, I've known Sean a long time. Great dude. He makes a great call. I haven't helped him design the camo cutter, which we saw what that thing did in Missouri this year.
Man, yeah, we had a heck of a trip up in Missouri. Ended up taking 3 birds on that trip.
Yes, sir. That's one of the 11 calls he makes out of his Outlaw series mouth calls, but he also makes slate calls and glass calls if you need those.
We've had Sean in here on the podcast. Really good guy.
Great call. Designed by killers for killers.
What is up, everybody?
Welcome back to the Hunt Experience, episode 38.
38?
I was right this time.
Mhm,
Last time
you
I
got
jumped
it.
the gun.
Yep, you got it.
I want to preface this thing. If I don't make sense today, I'm running on like 7 hours of sleep in 2 days. Insomnia. I don't know what's happening.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I would not be able to function. I'll just tell you that right
It's
now.
rough. Whenever you text me and say, hey, I'm getting off early, let's pod. And I was like, had to run some errands, had to start a new little LLC. And the guy was asking me like, what name do you want it to be? I'm like, dude, I'm almost brain dead right now. I'll text you something here in a little bit. Then I went and got a haircut, and I was telling the guy I was cutting my hair, I was like, man, I don't know, dude. I'm wore out. I just can't not sleep at night. I like lay there and lay there and lay there. And he's like, is it because you're getting old? And I was like, well, I am getting old, but is that a sign that you're getting old? You can't sleep? I think it'd be the opposite.
I thought it was the flip, right?
Yeah.
You sleep 10 hours when you're old.
Yeah, so I stopped by the store and grabbed me one of those sugar-free Red Bulls, which I don't drink very often, but I'm gonna gun up on one of these things and let's podcast. I'm running on juice right now.
So you may say stuff backwards, and inside out, and
yeah, let's go.
repeat yourself a few times.
It's possible. I do that anyway, but today may be a little worse. So, man, 24-25 is officially a wrap for me. I'm done.
So you're out?
Yeah.
You just
That big 8 came in with one side missing. The potential 13, if that little drop would have measured. I haven't seen him in like a week. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done.
You backing out?
Yeah, I'm kind of ready to get going on, cutting down the switchgrass, frost seeding, cutting down trees. But when I left the house today, shout out to my wife for the weather station, 5 inches of rain.
Is that how much we got?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So
I knew it was a lot.
I'm not going to be on the food plot with a tractor for a little bit.
I knew it was a lot.
Yeah.
When I came going out to town, it was James Fork was flood stage.
Oh, yeah.
Like out of the banks.
Yeah, I'd see, the wife leaves early and I told her, hey, watch out.
Yeah, the roads.
Because, right there at that, whatever that fire station is, it runs over the road right there. And then, of course, James Fork, yeah, it was almost touching the bridge there by Holt's place. He almost lost his driveway. It looked like this morning I went by there. So, yeah, we got a lot of rain. 5 inches.
5
It
inches.
was dead on 5
Yeah,
inches.
I didn't check mine. I bet you I'm same. Gee whiz.
So I don't know if we're in like the rainforest era. We need to save this stuff for like,
I know. Oh, okay.
summertime.
Speaking of that, on the rain thing. So one of our loyal listeners contacted me and let me know that we missed the dates on the drought.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know we had any loyal listeners. Talk to me.
well, we've got one.
Yeah.
So I talked to my brother
Okay.
and he's like, okay, dude, it stopped raining August 21st.
Okay.
It did not rain again until October 30th.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
He said it's like 10 weeks. 10 to 11.
weeks. Yeah, we
10
were
to
saying
11.
like 7 or 8.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, no, dude, no.
You missed it.
Yeah. But anyway, he had a neighbor they're all hay guys.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was
So
like,
there
hey
was-
guys, watch the rain like no other. And he one of his neighbors like wrote it down on the calendar.
Yeah.
So confirmed.
Rain
So
today.
no wonder the food
It's not
plots
the
were.
first time we'll misspeak on this podcast. I can promise you that.
So yeah, he set me straight. He called me. He's like, I got to tell you, man, I just got to listen to the pod. Get off on your dates. And I'm
You
like,
blew it.
dang it, man. I said, hey, I was trying to remember. I knew it was bad, but yeah, geez, dude, August 21st to It did not rain a drop in September and almost all of October.
Yeah. That's
there you go.
Yeah. Well, there's proof. So yeah, it was bad.
It was very bad.
Another reason why 2024, 2025 season, I didn't kill a deer. So that's another thing.
You can blame that.
I can blame that.
That's a legit blame.
For me, I didn't pout. I cried a little bit not killing a deer this year, but I'm old school. You just got rough through it, so I didn't pout too much about it. But I figure everybody that's been great at something probably has sucked at some point. So at 51,
they failed.
I'm still just trying to be good at something.
You're just trying to get there.
I don't know, dude. It was rough, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it stank, but
yeah.
I think I'm gonna call it a wrap. I'm kind of look forward to
land improvement.
Yep, already. I got a lot of work to do, dude. I need to know if Sabatucci will ever answer his phone, dude. I'm trying to ask him if I cut all these trees down, what he will charge me just to cut them up into dimensional lumber, like 2x4s, 2x6s, 4x4s.
Yeah.
What he'll charge me to do that, and just
did you text him? He's on the hill. He's on the hill with no service.
I think I did. I don't think I ever heard back.
That's part of his problem.
Yeah.
Like it'll literally be a week.
Oh yeah.
Before I hear back.
Okay.
And I talked to.
Does he have like telegraph or anything?
He don't even have internet, dude.
Morse code.
Yeah, smoke signals. I guess. Yeah, figure something out.
Yeah,
no, we just got to go find.
I don't want to throw them trees out. I think I'm going to cut them at 8 foot. I don't know if my tractor will lift them.
Yeah.
If they don't, I've got a inside buddy of mine he kind of rents these skid steers. I bet a skid steer probably lift an 8 foot tree pretty easily.
Well, I know your tractor will drag it.
Yeah, I really don't want to drag them all out of there because
of tearing up
my crimping side.
Gotcha,
I'd really like to lift them and drive them.
You don't think you can pick it up?
I just don't know. I've had one. Well, I did those telephone poles. But I mean, I don't know.
And you did those pine trees. Remember, we loaded on Richie's rig.
Yeah.
Those are big.
Yeah. So I may be able to.
I bet you can. Yeah. I may have to stand on the back.
Yeah, we had 2 people on the back with the saw, but I got that big weight now. I built that concrete weight deal that weighs like 800 pounds, and I've got my tires filled now. So. And
you could grab a round bell too, maybe.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I could put the stick because my little deal's got a receiver, so I could stick.
Yeah, you stick that on there and back into a round bell. I bet you could pick one up. I bet you could. Yeah,
I'll try it before I commit because I can leave them laying for a week if I.
You do have a couple big trees in there, though.
I do.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I'm gonna leave that big white oak.
The one right in front of the stand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that one.
I would.
It's a great little scrape tree, and I think I'll trim it up some, but all the rest of them, I think I'm gonna gut them.
Take them out. You gonna leave that big pine down there too? You said on the corner, or are you taking it?
I think it's far enough back.
The one that's off of
it ain't gonna hurt anything. It's be less
next to the corridor.
Yeah. It's right next to the switchgrass deal. So yeah, thinking about I like to get in there and brush hog, do a little. I don't know if we can frost seed. I mean, if it's gonna get cold again or what, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's time, but
normally in February is when I try to frost seed.
Yeah.
We usually will freeze.
Surely it's going to get cold again.
We'll usually freeze a few more times here,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows, though? The year's been,
I'm telling you.
The last 2 years have been just a roller coaster ride weather-wise. So.
Rough, man. Weird.
It is. It's bizarre for sure. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm going to do that Southern blend again. I think I'm just going to, some of my bare spots, I think I may drill that western side. I'm going to try to drill it again and just see. It's kind of shelly. I don't know if it'll ever take off there. If not, I might have to do plot screen in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to have some cover right there.
Yeah, for sure. No. So you're done. You put the bow up.
Yeah, it's wrapped. It's a wrap. I can't really pull it back anyway with my shoulder. Oh, I go next week for my shoulder. So.
All right. Are you going in to?
No, he's got to check me all out first. I wish.
He's got to push you off for another month, huh?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I'm going to push him. All I can. Let's get this thing wrapped up. I'm ready to go.
Yep. Yeah, I got to get back in shape.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting back in shape.
Yeah.
I start Monday. And we're doing a full bore. You know how I am. I'm 100% when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so, supposedly my son is coming over and we're going to work out together. We'll see. But he may not.
Never know. I wish I could. I've been biking. I got that road bike. They told me not to really jog or anything with my back. So
yeah, bouncing.
I've been doing the cold plunge in the mornings and doing the bike and doing the sauna and eating clean for about 2 weeks now. So
you tell tell the difference?
I can, yeah. I don't think it's
Other
like,
than you can't sleep?
I can't sleep, so I don't know if I'm having carb withdrawals or what.
Maybe that's is it a guilty conscience or something?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Could be.
I doubt it.
You never know.
I never know. Now so yeah, I'll go full bore, eat right, exercise.
Yeah.
What worked for me the best over the years, just as I've gotten older and smarter, I think is for me, the calorie thing, because I'm that guy that if I lay something out that I can stick to, I can fall right in.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm herky jerky made, and boy, I won't stay with it. So,
yeah. I just got to flip the switch. My wife's the worst because, she weighs 95 pounds and eats whatever. And it's like, she's even kind of on board. She's kind of doing her thing. That helps me a lot. It's like, hey, you want to do like some kind of trashy meal? I'm like, yeah, why not? And like,
yeah.
I can't, I don't have but once I get dialed in, I'm usually pretty good if I ever flip that switch. If I was totally healthy and I could lift and stuff right now, it would make it a lot easier. Right now, it's just kind of cardio and.
Yeah. See, what works for me or what's for, I guess it's been the last 2 or 3 years now, something like that. I meal prep. Dude, so I eat breakfast in the morning after I work out 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And then I've got a prepped meal.
Yeah.
I know
I did that for a while. Yeah.
I know exactly what's in it.
Yeah.
And then the only question mark would be your evening meal. And then you can kind of dictate that by what you've already eaten.
Yeah.
It works great for me. I mean, as far as being able to stick to it, because
your meal's already ready to go.
Yeah.
Like when I was lifting before all this happened, I bought this little scale and you could actually
I've got one.
Scan.
Oh no, I didn't get that one.
Yeah. You like scan the barcode on it, or you can type it in and you're like, it's an 8-ounce chicken breast, boom, throw it on there. It tells you the protein, the max and all that stuff. And it's like easy. So I grill up a whole bunch of those, know what I was doing.
Yep.
Put them in glass bowls with the lids on them, and there's all my meals.
See, I have an app.
Yeah. Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you weigh it on a scale and put it into the app.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it tells you all your macros.
That's what the boy's doing now. He's he's like cycling. He's got like one of those annoying people that ride on the road all the time. He's got one of those bikes.
He's got one of them suits.
No,
he's not strapped in.
He didn't have the suit on. It's probably here to come. He's been doing that and then going to the gym and like cold plunging and all that stuff. So he's trying to get ready for the whatever fire department.
Yeah, that's what he's going towards.
Building or whatever he's doing. I don't know. I can't keep up with all of it, but he's got some discipline. He's meal prepping now. He buys all of his own chicken.
Dude.
He's going to Valencia's and buying this 92.8 beef, that fresh beef from down there, and doing that stuff.
Yeah, that's for me. I mean, I've always tried to be in shape and I've always worked out.
Yeah.
Since I was in my 20s. But, as far as manipulating your body, man, you dial your food in.
Yeah, that's what they always say, right? You can't work out enough to overcome a bad diet.
Yeah, and that's what I would say. The workout, obviously, and I've done tons of research on what I should be doing at my age, over 40, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
and then your diet is got to be spot on. And if you get those two together, and then the third thing is consistency.
Yeah,
if you stick with it, dude.
If you just stay with it, it's like anything else in life. You stick with it long enough, you're gonna be good. Except for hunting, for me. Yeah.
Well, just this year, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's a grind. I tell you, I was doing really, really good before we went to California on vacation. Yeah, I was dialed in. I was down like, I don't know, close to 30 pounds and lifting again, and my shoulder blew out. I mean, when something like that happens to me, I start getting my own head and like, all right, what am I going to do here? Yes, and like, I can't work out anymore. Might as well just go ahead and then next thing you know, I'm like, here we are again.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. See, I had the whole neck thing for me. I was in August of last year.
Oh, yeah.
As I was lifting and it was like, oh,
yeah,
hurt something bad, and then I was like, I'm going to go get checked out. And then I get, it's like, oh, yeah, you get degenerative discs in your neck and like it's pinching stuff.
Oh, yeah. Great. That's my back.
Yeah. So anyway.
Watching like a nutrition deal here a while back, and it was like, the guy was probably like 22, like, okay, here, if you want to get in shape in 20, here's what you eat some berries. And like, you're 25. You don't have to try to be in shape. Put yourself in my body for 5 days and then tell me how to get in shape.
Exactly.
Not listen to this garbage. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, supposedly Luke and one of his buddies are going to come lift with me.
Yeah.
And they're, 21, 22 year old guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, y'all got enough testosterone right now.
Yeah.
You pretty much can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you're going to see some results.
If you're even a little bit of a beast
Yeah.
at 21, you can look like a freaking Hercules.
Yeah, no kidding. And, I was like, man, why didn't I know what I know now when I was young?
Yeah.
Because, I never ate right. And I worked out a ton, but I never ate.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I really did either. I wasn't like protein shakes and stuff, but I mean, when I graduated, I was like, 6'2", 225, could bench press like 360 something and deadlift. Like I was just naturally strong. So
Yeah.
like I said, you don't really have to try when you're
No.
TRTs, up there around 1,000. Like,
Yeah, you're rolling.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the difference between me and you, because when I graduated, I was 6'3". I grew an inch after I graduated, by the way.
Really?
Which is weird anyway.
Yeah.
And I was 155 pounds.
155. Yeah.
Yeah, I turned sideways. You couldn't see me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I stayed, gosh, yeah, I was 225 and 6'2".
He's like my brother. That's about like what
Yeah.
he was. He was
Yeah.
just a big dude,
Yeah. Just naturally stout. I mean,
Yeah.
my grandfather on my dad's side was that way. He's one of those guys that kind of just grab your neck playing around like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to pinch something off.
I don't think I'm that way anymore, but I was.
Yeah, when you're younger. Well, I always wanted to be the stout guy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Sure.
so when I got old enough and like disciplined enough,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I'm tired of being skinny.
Yeah.
And then, it's the same, just the opposite with somebody that's had weight problems their whole life, their whole time. They're just like, I'm tired of being fat.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to lose.
Yeah.
That's me. I've always had to incorporate cardio
Yeah.
in my work.
Which I hate.
I have to. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, when I was running, when I was able to run, start doing
When it was competitive?
5Ks and stuff, you had to win something. It's like I was all in.
Oh, yeah, I
like,
could see that.
but then my back said no more after that.
Tapped out.
And there we go. Another thing out of the books. So,
Well, it's crazy that we're already a month into 25. Isn't it
a
wild?
lot of stuff in the world's changing for the
Yeah.
better, man. I look at the news every day. I'm like, oh man, this is so good.
Yeah, I've got a giddy feeling now
Oh,
after.
the dude's playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers.
And I know he's smoking it. It's awesome.
He
No,
was.
it's awesome.
You heard about the was it Columbia deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like playing golf, and they said like on the 6th hole, like we're not taking these.
Yeah.
We're not taking these refugees. We're not going to recycle people that you don't want. And by like hole 8, they were like, you need to use our planes.
Yeah, it's like, all right, first week's 25% tariff.
Yeah.
Week 2's 50%
Yeah.
tariff on
Yeah.
your product.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we'll take them.
No flying. No Colombians can fly. It's a lockdown.
Just
on
shut
anybody
you
coming
down.
here. Like,
Part 4.
most of these people can't survive without, shipping stuff to America.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here we go.
I'm excited, dude. I'm, we're both business owners, and
Yeah.
it's a look up for us.
Oh,
'Cause
for
it's
sure,
been
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
last several years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I'm excited too. I wake up every day now.
with some hope.
Yeah. I check I'm kind of got some crypto stuff, got some stock stuff, and it's all kind of climbing and rising. And like,
Mhm.
man, this could be good. We'll see.
I seen an attack today. They press conference. His new speaker. I don't know if you've seen her.
Yeah, yeah.
She's pretty good.
Yeah.
They said, well, since he's gotten to office, the egg prices have just skyrocketed.
Yeah. It's
And he
killed
got-
all the chickens.
Yeah, it's like the last administration pretty much killed all the chickens,
Yep.
and so we have an egg shortage.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's your question,
Yeah. Yeah.
moron?
Yeah. I was really hoping that, what was her name? McEnany.
Oh, no, she was awesome.
Yeah. Like,
She
I was hoping
was
she'd
awesome.
quit Fox and come back. Like she was a bulldog. But I think this one's going to be pretty good too.
Yeah,
You just look at
Huckabee was good too.
yeah.
I liked her too.
Yeah. You look at, even some of the old, and you can find them anywhere, some of the old interviews of their people compared to just the first 3 weeks of this.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, there's actually some competence in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
and some leadership in there. And he's done more in a month than
No, it's great.
dude in 40 years, It's
It's great. That's what it is.
I like all the what's his name? Tom Homan, the ice director. or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Hey, I seen him say, hey,
Yeah.
he told me what the plan was, and I'm implementing that.
Yeah.
And he is.
Yeah, yeah. It's some of his comments are funny. Like, well, if you're gonna, if the mother was here and the kids are, if they came here illegally, yeah, they're going back. Like, yeah, that's not my problem.
Yeah, it's not.
They can try again, come in legally. Like, he's just hardcore.
Yeah, America first, man. Well, they're just outspoken for America, and I love it.
Well, they don't even know how many people came over during that whole deal.
A lot.
They're already like racking that. They got the Marines over there building that wall, and like they're just
You're getting it done, brother.
he's doing work, son. So yeah, exciting times, man. Exciting times to be alive. I dig it.
I am too. I'm really into it, and I guess we could just put 24 behind us.
Yep, moving on in the rearview mirror, and I don't look at mine very much as I'm pulling a trailer, so I don't even need to look at it.
Stuff's dragging behind you.
We've done some sketchy stuff. I think y'all are worse than me at that stuff, though.
Well, yeah. You've seen the stuff we pull off.
I was like, what? Are you sure?
You think we should haul that? Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, we got some plywood. It should be good.
Oh, dude, when we were designing deer stands, I was always trying to come up with the awesome engineering feat of a deer stand.
Sure.
I don't know if I ever take you to the,
Oh yeah,
the single pole in the middle with and Dad, I'd be like, Dad, what do you think? Think we can pick that up? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I said, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
And the tractor would be teetering and stuff would be making noise. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I do that with my tractor too. Like, my bucket's about to break.
Hold together, baby. Hold together.
One tire off the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sketch. You got to have them do work.
Yeah. Well, okay. So to me, we're in a different world now. We talked about that a little bit last week, but I kind of want to talk to you again about the technology.
Yeah. Yeah. We kind of brought that up.
Yeah. In hunting. And dude, give me your feel for just, I know you probably got a little different view of it than I do. Cause I was one of the 5-year-olds started hunting.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything, but you walked and sat next to a tree to what we are now.
Yeah.
That's
definitely come a long ways. I started late. I didn't come from a hunting family per se. So I was like, I think my first hunt was at 13. I was by myself and missed a doe. First deal, just walking around. So
nice.
And there was nothing there. I mean, the first piece of technology I ever bought was what was the name of that camera? It was one of the jewelry brands. Was it Primos? Is that right?
Primos is that other guy, them other guys.
Is it?
The Primos Truth About Hunting guys?
Primos. Anyway, it was Primos.
Will Primos.
Yeah. So it was one of his cameras, and it took D batteries.
Was it 35 millimeter?
No.
Okay.
So
you came in right at that time.
I missed the 35 millimeter. I knew some guys that had that, but I was like, it's not worth it.
You see, dude, I had one.
Yeah.
And it was the Cuddy back.
Okay.
And
so
it was it was like the first.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was one of the, it was like, I remember, what would that have been, dude? Probably middle 90s, maybe a little late 90s, I bet you. But that's probably late 90s. Probably right in there. But anyway, it would take every time it took a picture.
Yeah.
And, you get one picture of a buck. That was
and then he's gone for 3.5
But you had to go get it developed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew some dudes that had that. They would like bring in the pictures. And
check this guy out.
Yeah. Worked in a bunch of body shops. There were some dudes that had them, but I'm like, I'm out on that deal. I wasn't that into it anyway.
Yeah.
But, So, mine was probably, I bet it was 95-ish or so before I ever bought my first camera. 95, 96 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, I'm gonna try to figure this out and actually get into it. Because before I was a gun guy. It's gun season. Let's go. I had access to a couple of little farms of buddies and all that stuff. We would hunt-ish for a while and made up shooting some crows or some squirrels or whatever.
Just shooting?
Yeah. So I wasn't too serious into it. Nothing like it's taken over my life now pretty much. So
yeah. Well, for me,
it was a slow burn until it wasn't.
Well, see, to me, that just back on the youth side of it, that heritage history kind of thing, from being young with no technology and learning how to hunt with just going into the woods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of gone now. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I'm talking about youth. Talking about youth
Yeah, for
now.
sure.
So think about the youth now with the cell phones and everything else.
Yeah. They don't have to
They don't have to
corn pile and
they don't have to work for it.
Corn pile and a camera.
They don't have to work as hard. And
well, we did that a bunch, even with turkey and stuff with my boy. And it's like, so he knows, and he's more into duck hunting than he is deer hunting now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine. He may come full circle, but even in Missouri, before we would hang stands, like you got 3 days. Let's get there early on, Friday, and let's look at sign. And, we were successful up there because of sign and topographical stuff, which, that's a whole other tool too that I do use a lot if especially on public, like the topo side of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you roll into Missouri back in the day and it's like, all right, we're hunting in the morning. Where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. Let me look at Onyx. I'm like, here's a saddle or here's a draw. I'm going to go walk in and climb here. And I'm like, always see deer. Always see deer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that definitely plays a big role.
Yeah.
And, go back 10 years earlier than that, didn't exist.
Right. Exactly.
Google Earth. Remember Google Earth, if you could figure that out.
Yeah. That's kind of garbage, but that still is in my opinion. But
yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day as far as like, we were talking about Lydia getting her license, and she's 14 and like her mom's talking about, well, I don't want her, I don't want her to get a hardship like, Luke did or anything like that. Yeah. Like, there was no need to. We're all right there. And we was talking in the car and I was like, I got my permit at 14. Drove around, wherever I could, even like up to the lake store, even just a permit, and then I got my driver's license. The day after I got my driver's license, me and a couple other buddies, we were big into stereos back then.
I remember.
Let's go to Tulsa. I got my driver's license. We're going to Tulsa. Day one that I had my driver's license, we're going to Tulsa.
Oh, wow.
We had, a map and, all this stuff. Like, and I'll be honest with you, like, I'm pretty good with the directions in the woods, but when it comes to like, highway, whatever, and turn on that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm putting it in my phone and I'm driving.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even remember how I got there. I gotta put the same thing in when I go back. Like, that's just how my brain works.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm the exact same way. Yeah. I travel in my business even now, dude. If I didn't have it on my phone.
Oh, really? See, I figure most guys that travel like you, because I run into guys like that all the time. They're in sales. Like, well, Highway 9, you take it on 23 and turn left. It's like, no, I don't know any of that.
Yeah, I don't pay any attention to the numbers. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Now, if you tell me where the big barn was,
sometimes,
turn at the, whatever. And I'm that guy too. But no, I'm not a. Don't give me the number. It doesn't do me any good.
Yeah, no, I'm not good at that either. Like, not at all. And if I'm talking, or let's see, where were we? Oh, I got I bought one of your brother's cows here a while back, and Valencia had it ready. Me and Joe actually split one. And I was listening to, I think it was the guy. Yeah, it was the guy. What's his name? Oh, crap.
What's it pertaining to?
Can't think of his name. The guy that made the stands, the Lone Wolf stands. I can't think of his name now. Anyway, I was listening to him tell a story, and he was hunting this big buck. And I was driving. I've been to Valencia's 200 times probably. And Joe was behind me. And I'm in the tree with this dude, right? He's telling the story.
Locked in?
I'm locked in. I'm like, a mile past the deal. I'm like, looking at my rearview mirror, see where Joe's at. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm already. So if my brain's somewhere else, I'm going to miss the exit or whatever.
Yeah, that's me. No, that's me, bro.
So
yeah,
that's how I remember.
Me and, when I was in the coffee business, me and the old man that trained me, he was originally the coffee guy, and I got, he was retiring and I got the job, but he rode with me for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Just teaching me.
Sure.
Dude, we'd be talking and we would be like 25 miles from where
we're in Memphis.
Dude, where are we going? I don't know. We were supposed to turn like 15 miles back there.
One of us has got to have control of the situation.
Yes. But we'd be, immersed in conversation and just totally miss
I'll tell you, one of the only places really far away that I could drive to without my phone is the Missouri lease.
Oh, yeah. No, we did that a few times.
I could blow right through that. I'm not even.
Well, the first.
If I was paying attention.
The first 3 or 4 times I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid
no.
But once we went all them times, I had it locked.
And another thing that I do now, even my wife says, we're almost, you know where you're going now, right? If we come back from a long trip, whatever. Yeah, but now if you have your maps turned on, it'll say speed check ahead.
Yes.
So I'll leave it on because I'm running 15 over. I'm leaving on for speed check.
I know you're running 15 over. I've rode with you enough, buddy.
Yeah. It's like, I'm leaving it on. I know where I'm going at this point, but I want the speed check to tell me what's happening.
Yeah, no, it's legit. And I always thought it was like an accident or something. No, it'd be a cop sitting on the side of the road.
It's pretty accurate.
I was like, what's up with that? Yeah. How can they get away with that?
I guess somebody has to, because I think you got to go on there and like
somebody puts it in
Somebody
there.
puts it in there, right?
Oh, I don't know. I was like,
I've never looked at it.
How do
either
they know
'cause-
where the cops are? That's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Yeah. Like,
But it works.
What's going on around
Yeah,
here?
it works. You
I mean,
get-
we got the new AI stuff coming on. Who knows?
Hey, I when I get that speed check ahead, I shut it down from 72 to 70.
Yeah. That's better safe than sorry.
You'll be doing 85.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, you better tap them.
Yeah. I went to pick up that gooseneck, and the wife said, "What time are you back?" I said, "Oh, I don't know." And I told you that story. I was pulling that gooseneck back around like 87, from Carthage, trying to get back to the house.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm just kind of listening to a podcast in my own world in the fast lane, just hauling. And next thing I know, there's a state trooper next to me, on the left-hand side. I'm
Oh.
in the fast lane. He's on the left-hand side, and then another one's on the right-hand side. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're going to jail.
This trailer is stolen. I'm speeding, or what's going on? Like, I have no idea what's happening here. Well, they were chasing a motorcycle.
Oh.
Next thing you know, the motorcycle like blows by me. I'm like, I thought I'd been had. But anyway, I got
gig's
back
up.
like 40 minutes before I was supposed to. I was like, how fast you drive this? I don't know. I was trying to get back before, dark.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Like those Missouri trips running up to get that, the seed drill and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
like stop, load it up, go to the bathroom, blow
Yeah.
right back. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, we would make that Missouri run, dude, and not even stop and use the restroom.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
all right, you got to pee before we leave.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Yeah. I used to tell Luke that.
6.5 hours
I'm
later.
going to grab a water before we go. I was like, drink out of the lid. Just like short notes. We ain't stopping.
We're going straight through. But yeah, for me, dude, I look back and technology's really changed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And for the good on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But then there's other things, in my opinion, it's probably, what's the word? Probably taking away from hunting a little bit.
No, I
You know,
totally is.
You,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's definitely advantageous for us at this point.
Yeah. And and I can get on the dog running stuff and the technology that's used there that I just don't think
It kind of goes back to the heritage deal. Those dudes have been doing that since they were 3. You hate
I
to
was
take
in-
it away from them, but I don't care for it.
yeah. Well, and my deal with that is I don't mind the dogs.
Sure.
Just don't use technology to make it where that deer's going to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
18 guys may shoot at it, but that deer,
Mhm.
it's just going to keep getting chased until it's dead.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that in the old days, it wasn't like that. You had your chance and that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like guys were lined up
Mhm.
and they weren't in vehicles doing 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You see them dudes run on some of those trails up there in Scott County on them side by sides running 60 mile an hour. Like,
And that's just one
I
aspect
can't
of
believe nobody's been shot yet.
it. That's just one aspect of it. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's like, we talked about the cell cameras too. I mean,
Yeah.
you think, okay, well, I got a camera, I put out 4 or 5, we both got a bunch of cell cameras now.
Yeah.
And we pretty much just monitor our places other than walking on them like we used to.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's the difference. It's like I go into a spot, like we had a new place this
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
I go into this place and it's like boots on the ground day one. This is how I'm setting it up.
Yeah.
This is where my cameras are going.
Right.
And I don't go back in.
Yeah.
Change batteries. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it. And I get live information.
Yeah. That's pretty nice, isn't it?
If you think
Yeah.
about it, dude, that's totally different than
Oh,
what
sure,
it
yeah.
used to be.
Yeah.
And I think that the woodsmanship of hunters is going to steadily just decline.
Yeah. No question.
You got the old timers that are still left
Yeah.
that do it the old way or how I was taught.
Yep.
All that's going away,
Yeah.
and even what we did at public growing up, is,
Yeah. Well, public, and I do the lease that way. And there's 3,500 acres on, over here. And it's like, you
Mhm.
got to go in there and put in some time if you want to get on. And this year I didn't do it a whole lot. I was kind of just really fingers crossed with my back and everything the way it was. I didn't
Mhm.
want to go up there and do a whole lot of hiking, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do that one that way. It's really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
turkey hunting's kind of the same way that, you can obviously hear them and roost them, but it's like, man, if you know where the peaks are and the ridges are and, kind of where they've been traveling, it's like, I love the woodsmanship of turkey hunting.
Mhm.
And, obviously they make noise, so that takes away from it. But if you know kind of what you're doing, well, you saw even like when we went to Missouri, it's like, all right, here's the ridge. They should be roosting here. And here, when we walked into the right-hand side and here the left-hand side, it's like some of those things like that, even a topographical map isn't advantageous because you don't even have to walk it. You can tell. But
Yeah.
back when I was a kid, it was like you'd walk the ridges, halfway down the ridges, or kind of close to the top 3/4 of the ridges, and look for feathers where the hens have flew up, and that's how you found, or droppings where they've band roosting that night. And like now you don't have to really do that as much.
Yeah.
Here's where they're going to be. I bet, like
Yeah, exactly. And it don't have to just be cell cameras. I mean, it can be. I'm just talking about the kind of the way the hunting's going now.
Yeah.
I still think it's a sport in a way because you are chasing an animal.
Sure.
But I think it's a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
To step right into the hunting instead of having to learn it like we kind of did growing up.
No, I totally agree.
You know what I mean? I go back to when I was I got big into hunting about 18, 19 is when, because I started killing deer.
Yeah.
And, that's when I really got big into it. And dude, I would go to a place and walk for hours.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Just to learn it.
I love that side of it.
Yeah.
Too.
And just to learn it. But that's what gave you the edge on everybody else is you walked for hours.
Yeah.
You know where that scrape's at. You know where
exactly.
Saddle is or whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's to where, now it's a cell camera in a corn pile.
Yeah.
And there's really no work involved in it. So it's losing a little bit of its luster to me because that's how I came up.
Yeah.
And by the way, we come out of the greatest generation ever because we came up with no technology.
Yeah. Generation X.
And then we gained technology.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like in the middle there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So not only did we learn how to live life without technology, we learned how to use technology once it came.
Yeah.
And so we're the best of both worlds.
No, we were just having this discussion with one of my body guys the other day. It's like, man, he's a younger dude. It's like Generation X, man. It's like, we didn't battle it out on Facebook or something. We hit each other in the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Made each other bleed. That's how we solved our problems. It's like, and we had no cell phones, no computers. We used maps, and like we had to hang out with our friends if we wanted to talk to them. And like, and then we adapted, and now we use all that stuff.
Yep.
And as the tool,
we're dangerous.
Like, come on, man.
We got to
figure
figure it out.
Mess with us. Sure, we got bad backs and bad shoulders, but
our elbows don't work and then all that. But no, I'm serious about that because if you think about it, we had nothing, dude, as a child.
Yeah,
when can you believe our parents would say, "Okay, we'll see you tonight," and have no clue where we were, or what we were doing.
I was on a bike. I had a little tackle box and a fishing pole to outfish. Everybody's pawing around all these roads, fishing, all day,
going out.
Had to be back at a certain time, make sure the wood was split or whatever.
You gotta get your chores done.
Yeah.
Mine was burning trash and
I did that,
all that fun stuff. But, I'm looking at it at my age now, 47, and I kind of think about, okay, my son's not real big into hunting, but when he was young, he was with me from 6 to, I would say 15.
Yeah.
That was, and we went everywhere together and we did it like we like to do it. I still wanted to incorporate the old style of let's earn this deer. Let's hike in. Let's, carry our stands in, all of that to try to build that into him. I was talking to him the other day and he's like, all right, he's going to have a child here before long, and it's a boy. And he's like, all right, you're going to have to teach him everything about hunting. I was like,
you should know this, man.
I said, what's wrong with you? He said, Dude, I don't know nothing. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, I went wherever you told me to go.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, I see that now. I mean, I'd be like, all right, I got an 8 over here. I got a 10 over here.
I will say this though. I mean, like the public land stuff, the Missouri lease and all that stuff. It's like, that's probably some of the last ones born in that 2003, 4, 5, maybe, that will probably still have that skill set if they ever come full circle. So my boy, he's more into duck hunting now. He don't really care a whole lot about deer hunting. But, this year I told him, hey, you can get on the lease if you want to, and figure it out.
Yeah.
Go. There's plenty of land over there. Figure it out. So, I mean, I think that skill set, if he takes, if he does want to deer hunt, I think that stuff will come full circle. The seed's been planted, like anything else in life. But
that's what I'm saying. I mean, you think about our kids and being kind of hardcore, like I was. You are. We wanted to do it the hard way.
Oh yeah,
and that's when it's the most rewarding.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Well, you think about go 5 years forward. Those kids didn't get that, or most of them didn't get that. There's obviously guys like us everywhere. I'm just saying,
sure, yeah.
and it's progressively getting less and less and less and less
No, I
about
totally agree.
woodsmanship and about becoming a good hunter and
Yep.
hunter ethics. And the dude over there, don't go over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't sit
Yeah.
there and
Well,
hope he
you're-
misses.
I saw that on Chaffee tons. Like I
Yeah.
parked at a spot and, walk in, be in a pretty good spot. And then, some, younger guy would walk in, just walk right past me like nothing. I would never do that.
No,
man.
no,
Like,
that,
that's
you
it.
didn't do that.
Yeah.
You were taught not to do
Yeah.
that. I remember it as a little kid. We would, we'd be down there in public and it's like, you seen orange,
Yeah.
you turn and went the other way.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody already there.
Sure. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just
that's-
not taught.
That's definitely going away for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm kind of, not as optimistic as I used to be about
Yeah.
the hunting world.
Yeah.
I still love it. It's still part of who I am.
Yeah, for sure.
I still think about it pretty much daily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I don't know if that's good or bad, but
Yeah.
just the overall hunting has changed.
Yeah.
And technology is a big part of that.
there's good and bad ones out there, but it's not even to do with hunting. We were talking about this the other day. I was talking to one of the football coaches, in the town that the shop's at. And, back when I was coaching the pit bulls out there, we had 3 teams, and the blue team had all the dudes on it. And then it kind of went to gray, and then the white team was kind of the fill, and that's just the way they did it. So,
Mhm.
and me and a couple other buddies, we coached the blue team. Well, now they've only got 2 teams. Not enough kids are coming out because parents are, football's dangerous. And I'm not, maybe it is, I don't know. But
Yeah.
you want your kids to be in the trenches and learn how to be tough and bleed and work through it and be hot and throw up. And most of them don't.
Most of them don't.
I don't want to put my kid through that.
Mm-mm, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like,
No, and that's why we're soft.
Yeah.
That's why the generation's
yeah,
coming
I
up
was talking
soft.
to
And
one of the coaches the other day about that, and he was like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how it's going to turn out. A lot of these dudes are wanting to play tennis and volleyball and golf or something. Nothing wrong with it, but
yeah,
for me, football is, man, it's just for a boy, it's pretty huge.
yeah.
I
can see it.
just honestly believe that, as far as, because for me, when I was a kid, rough childhood, rough bring up, a lot of anger. If I didn't have football and weights, I'd
You'd hurt somebody.
probably be in the pen. It was a way to get off all my aggression.
Sure.
And you also learn, like,
Yeah.
listen, man, I'm going to bleed and throw up and, work through these problems, but here's my dues. We're going to go, try to win something, that's just
Yeah.
how it was. And I think it helps you in life. Like, kind
Oh,
of
I agree.
my old sayings, like, I think everybody needs to be broke,
Yeah.
really broke.
Yeah.
Not broke with $100 a make. I mean, broke. Like,
Yeah.
you're buying some ramen noodles, and
Yeah.
I think it just changes who you are and
Sure.
going to be. So,
I think, I went through a lot of that later in life. It's like physical stuff,
yeah,
financial stuff because of the physical stuff.
sure.
And it just changes you as a
Oh,
person.
yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? It makes you got to get tough or die, right?
Yeah.
You just pretty
Yeah.
much, that's the card you're dealt and you got to deal with it.
Yeah, I've been through all that stuff, man. I bought my first place, and it's like, oh man, it was on propane. Like, propane was like $600 to fill a thing up or something. Like, I buy an electric heater, and
Mhm.
my dad was still alive. I was like, dude, I'm struggling over here, man. It's like, well, they can't eat you. I mean, all you gotta do is just,
Yeah. Make it.
basically keep on keeping on. It's like,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Which, I mean, I did that anyway, but
Right.
I'm not going to quit on anything except for deer season this year. And I didn't quit till the horns fell off, like I said. So there you go. There's something.
Yeah. I don't want to say I'm being pessimistic about hunting now, but it's different now, man.
It
It's
is.
just different.
And it is what you can't change it.
No. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
That's where it's going. And the guys that are like us that raise our kids to be tough,
Yeah.
that's going too, man.
Mhm.
It's just not the thing anymore. And then there are exceptions. Don't get me, you guys listen out there. I'm sure you're like, oh wait,
Yeah, no, there's definitely, and I can name plenty of these
Sure,
I know that
sure.
are 15 years younger than me and still raise their kids pretty hard. And
Yeah.
even girls, some of the
tough.
couple of my buddies have all girls, and they raise them tough. They're around cattle, and they're
Yeah.
doing what they're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing. They're grinding out softball 2 days and, all this stuff. So it's like, there definitely are exceptions out there. But, for the most part, whenever I go to these little basketball games and stuff like that with, 8, 10, 12-year-old kids, the dads are not like I was, like, whistle roll out, like, figure it out.
Yeah.
They're
What are you
like,
doing?
hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. It's okay, buddy. Hey, buddy.
We'll
Like,
get it next time.
that never came out of my mouth ever.
No. Well,
if you screwed up, you're going to know.
my kids hated to drive home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember one of them, I remember. And it's like, all right, what'd I do wrong?
Yeah. Well, I was pretty fortunate. I coached the boy in everything pretty much until he got to the high school.
Yeah.
Even the high level travel baseball, I was the coach. So, he didn't wonder what he did wrong. He always, he already knew. Yeah. But I will say this, if he had a bad game or, made an error, he'd want to go home and work on it. Like,
Yeah.
hey, let's go. I want to, throw curveballs. I'm blowing it on the curveball or whatever. So
He'd want to figure it out.
he'd want to figure it out. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's
that
good.
was a plus. But so you never, you never really got into the whole technology side other than like cell cams though, did you?
No, I stayed away for a long time. I remember you had them, Jody had them,
Yeah.
and they're like, dude, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I was using cameras.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. I had lots of cameras. And that, just to that point, just having a digital camera
Yeah.
was a step above what we used to do. You know what I mean? It's just like it had evolved to, digital cameras, and then it evolved to cell cameras.
Yeah.
And I held out, dude, forever.
Yeah. For a long time.
And, I even trying to think back, gadgets, that were coming into the market.
That's what I was fixing to talk about because I was not a real gadget guy, but I had the Ozonics.
You had
I
those
still
Ozonics.
have the Ozonics.
I borrowed that once.
Yeah, I
Remember?
don't really use it a whole lot unless I'm hunting out of a blind or like pig hunting. I'll throw it in there if I got a sketchy wind. But Wind Scent, they had a deal that was like you could put like estrus in there and it would like blow a little smoke
Smoky
out.
estrus.
I bought that. I'll tell you something I do have though, and I think it's amazing because so when the season starts, I'll get all my clothes. I'll get warm season clothes first, wash them in scent-free stuff, usually twice, dry them with the dryer sheets. And I have a scent lock little closet deal.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's got like an ozone generator in there.
Mhm.
And unless I gut something or get real nasty, I rarely wash my clothes after that. I just throw them in there,
On the closet.
ozone them after I get out of the stand. Then I'll ozone them before I put them on the next day.
Yeah.
You can't beat a deer's nose, but I do think that helps. And my clothes last a lot longer.
Yeah, because you're not washing them.
Because I'm not washing them. Because I used to wash my after every hunt pretty much, trying to keep the scent down.
Well, I came late to the game on that too, but I
Yeah.
finally came and I've got the bag.
Okay, yeah.
That you put the
Yeah.
clothes in the bag and it's got the ozone generator in it.
Yeah.
And it smells horrible. To me, it does.
Yeah.
It's like, God, y'all don't smell that? I can
Yeah.
smell that. But it's like you're saying, I mean, I didn't want it to change
Yeah.
how I learned.
Sure.
But I think it's because I'm hard-headed.
Yeah.
And, I'm hard-headed anyway to change.
Yeah.
And the older I get, it's like, all right, you either going to change or you get left behind here.
Yeah.
Because, literally, dude, I think y'all were 3 years into cell cams or something at least.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a
Maybe
while.
3 or
Yeah.
4 years into cell cams
Yeah.
before I bought a cell camera.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're killing me. He's like, dude,
Yeah.
look at the buck I got right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't checked my cameras.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
going
essential in pig hunting. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, you told me that. But it just if you take a big step back and you look at hunting in general now, it's just totally different.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Totally different. And, maybe not out west guys that still, put on stocks on elk and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But even
No.
some technology plays into that too.
Oh, yeah.
It's just what you said, like Onyx and
Yeah, definitely.
you're
Yeah,
figuring
Onyx
out-
Onyx is huge.
Yeah.
That's a one of those. I got some of those other apps. We touched on that briefly the last time. Some of those other apps that tells you, good days, bad days, and I don't really use them for that as much, but it is kind of nice to check on it every once in a while. Like, oh, barometer's going to be. It's kind of you can go get all your weather information at one spot. That's kind of how I use
Yeah.
them. I don't decide if I'm going hunting that day or not over it, but
yeah.
it is kind of nice for that. But yeah, I like the clothes deal. That's one of those technology deals that I kind of dig because my clothes, I don't know. I've got some Sitka stuff. I switched over to First Light, which I really like that product. But I mean, probably going on 6 years now.
Same stuff.
Same stuff.
Mhm.
It's not faded because I'm not washing it constantly. But
Yeah.
and two, I hunt a little different now. My place is set up. I don't really have to worry about access a whole lot, or laying down scent. So,
Right.
I'll ozone my clothes. I'll take my shower the same way,
Yep.
spray my boots down. But it's pretty bulletproof. You can get in and out without, unless there's some freaky thing that happens, you're going to get in and out without that. And like up on the lease, there's no access at all. So if I'm going to blow a deer out, I'm going to blow a deer in.
Yeah.
So I used to like ozone my clothes. I had the ozone deal for inside my truck, and I would be ozoning while I'm going and like not put my clothes on. I can't sweat and get dressed at the bottom of the tree and then climb the tree. And like, now I just walk in, like, I try to walk in quietly. And a lot of times I'll wait till gray light. So I'm not just crunching and beating up. And cause I'm not a big light guy. I don't go with the light, but so I hunt a little more carefree just because my access and the lack thereof on the other spot that I hunt.
Yeah. Well, I think back, okay, so maybe there was a little bit. I remember in my early 20s, I got into scent lock.
Yeah.
And
I got some old scent locks.
Yeah. And, dude, I thought, this is great. And it was so expensive back then.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
But I remember I could be sweaty, like going into the stand, like sweaty, like almost stink. And you couldn't smell nothing coming out of that stuff.
And that was another product you didn't have to wash. You just had to dry it to activate the charcoal again. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the charcoal suits.
I still wear mine sometimes. It's kind of a mid-weight suit.
Yeah.
It's got some holes in it, but I like it. It's
comfortable. I wore that forever. And I remember getting made fun of, like, what are you doing? Because I had the scent lock tote.
Yeah.
That you kept your clothes in.
Oh, yeah.
So they didn't get contaminated.
Yeah.
And we'd be down there at deer camp, dude, and there'd be like all my clothes would be separate, like away from the fire.
I'm still kind of weird like that, unless it's like, I don't know. Sometimes like deer camp wise, I'm just here to kind of have a good time and I'm not get too worried about it.
Well, speaking of that, I told you the story about I had a bottle of Doe and Heat in my pocket, and my wife washed it in the washer, and the bottle, it's one of them wax lid bottles come loose.
Nice.
And all my clothes smelled like Doe and Heat.
Yeah. You can get beat up doing that.
I killed a big buck.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, man.
I told her, I said, thank you, dear. You're the reason why.
I tell you, one of the things I had one time, and I saw a pretty good buck too that day, and I had to go get the boy from school. So he was a youngster, but I was off that day. Like, I'm trying to get in like an afternoon hunt. It was during the rut. And I went and set up these, you've seen these scrape bags. They had the curl in them. So
Drip
bags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I filled the thing up, and it's like, I'm going to spray my boot down. I'm going to clean this thing out with my boot. Well, the whole time I'm down there kind of clearing this out and checking it all out, it's dripping on the back of my neck. Yeah. And I didn't really, it was on my hat more so, but I'm getting saying like, gosh, dang, like what in the world?
Yeah, it stinks.
And I saw a pretty decent buck that day, and it was like at 2:00 when I was fixing to have to get down. I was like, oh, he's coming right. He came right to me. Like,
yeah. Like, what's that smell?
And the other one was that, what was it, like $50 for that Code Blue?
Code Blue.
Dude.
Yeah.
Before they outlawed
Come in that long skinny bottle?
Before they outlawed the real scents. I'm telling you right now, I used to hunt Chaffee a bunch. I would drag that in about the last 80 yards, and I'm telling you, they came in on a string.
Yeah.
Nothing. I had one really good buck come in on it.
Really?
They came right to the tree.
I had it happen twice when I used it.
It's legit.
And it was sucker never even lifted his head.
Yeah.
But like you said, he walked straight to the tree, and he was like going up my steps. He's like looking at me.
Well, I learned a valuable lesson then. I was like, man, I couldn't kill that deer because same deal. I was like, he crunch. I look behind me as a real nice 10-point straight across, wide, not real tall. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. And we looked at each other in the eye pretty much like, oh, hey, what's up? So from then on, I always I drug it and then put it out to my left so I get a bow shot to the left.
Sure.
It's like, that was a rookie mistake because it was a good Chaffee deer for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will say that I did use scents for a while. I've since got away from that. I haven't done that in years.
Yeah.
I did have scent lock stuff, and I still use some scent wicking clothing that I think helps.
Yeah.
So if you're sweaty and it's early season, dude, you can lift your shirt and smell yourself and not smell it when your shirt's on.
Yeah.
And so, I think there's some,
No,
but again, you can't
merino wool stuff. That's why I switched to the First Light stuff. The undergarments there's like 4 different levels of them, and I always throw them on because you sweat. It's like, you're still pretty good.
Yeah. You don't really.
But like I said, our places, you got good access. There's where I'm going to hunt on this wind. And
we don't
pretty well bulletproof.
Well, we don't really try it if it's bad anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We don't even try it. So I don't know. Yeah. So, and here's another one. So I was going to ask you about this too. What's your thought on thermal drones for deer recovery?
Dude, I think, well, I don't know, man.
That's a can of worms, brother.
Yeah. Well, here's my thought on it. I would much rather, if it's used for recovery, I'm all in, because you hate to see that deer not be celebrated. You know what I mean? If you know, especially like during youth season, if it's their first deer, a fork, it don't matter what it is, or if you're a good hunter, you made a bad shot on a trophy. If there's a way that you can find that deer and not let the coyotes get it, or it just never be found, I think it's a great deal.
And I think everybody agrees with that.
I think it could be misused.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, the problem is and this is something you think about, but they find that deer, and it's not dead.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, do you give that hunter that information?
Yeah.
Because here's where that deer's at.
Yeah.
And what do you know which way he's going?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so is that fair? And so then there you go.
Yeah. It's like, I think it could be misused for sure. And I'm sure it already is being misused for the right price.
You know it is.
Yeah.
You know it is.
These big farms that they're paid $10,000 to go hunt these things. Like, hey, let me run this drone over real quick. I'll tell you where he's bedded.
Well, there's a whole thing, with the thermal drones, and they'll come in to a property and do a deer count for you and tell me how many deer you got.
Yeah.
And the neighboring properties, how many deer they got, because you didn't get it up there high.
Yeah.
You can, there's a deer, there's a deer, there's a deer.
Yeah.
And like, all right, man, you got 28 deer on this place, total. And and it's like, that's really, I would love to do something.
Well, see,
like
that's
that.
not even, I don't even think that's too bad, because you know how I struggle. It's like I've been searching for something that tells me how many does I should have, family groups I should have. And it's like, everything's by so many square miles. Well, I don't know.
Well, see, if you had a thermal drone, you could fly it up and look at 2,000 acres.
Yeah.
And see how many deer are around into 2,000 acres.
To me, that would be kind of beneficial.
Oh, that would be really cool to know.
That's herd health at that point. Like, I need to take out probably 10 does or 4 does or 3 does or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, that part's endless, I think.
I've always kind of been a technology guy. So,
I know that. Yeah.
I worked at I guess it's my second body shop I worked at. And we had he was a paint shop foreman. Totally against everything, old school. Man, they got this new stuff that helps you blend the clay. No, we ain't doing that. It's probably going to cause. And I was the opposite guy. Like, I'm doing all this research, and pretty soon I took over his spot, and changed the body shop a little bit. It was like, I've always been that guy. Like, is there something better? Is there a better way to do this, or an easier way to I'm always kind of into that stuff. So for me, I don't. I hate it if they get misused. And I already tell you, they are going to be misused, but you can't stop the technology. It's here.
Yeah, well, and you can't police people either.
Exactly.
If there's something, any way a person's going to be able to find an edge, whether it's right or wrong, they're going to find the edge.
Yeah, I'm an edge guy, but I do it the right way.
Try to stay.
Like we talked about, feeding in Arkansas.
Yeah,
it wouldn't hurt my feelings off. They took it away.
Yeah,
because we got big food plots, and it's probably going to help us out a ton. But
right.
80% of the people that are feeding right now are still going to feed, whether it's legal or not.
Exactly.
So then now what do you do?
Well, and it's like we talked about many times before. It's like now you see feeding on public where it's not even not even legal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
people just don't care.
They don't care. Like they don't. And with that said, there's nobody policing them either.
Yeah.
I
don't know what the number is. I actually looked it up the other day. How many game wardens there were per county? It's like it's an impossible job.
Yeah,
impossible job.
Really tough. I mean, and they pretty much work off of tips.
Yeah,
for sure. Somebody's got a rat on them.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah,
and it's like, so I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. And I'm not that guy. We at deer camp out there. Well, I walked on probably 3 spots just in that little area we were at with corn and cameras. I was like, all right, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, don't be caught here.
Topographically speaking, it looks like a good spot, but I'm not hunting here.
Yeah, I'm out.
But I'm also not going to call the game warden and be like, hey, here's what's happening, because we
don't start a war.
No,
So yeah. Now, I think thermal drones.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah, exactly. I think the thermal drones are beneficial in finding an animal, and if that's how it was used, I think fantastic. But I think there would be just as many misuses of it as there would be uses of it.
The other side of it is you almost around here. I know there's one in Oklahoma. I really don't know him in Arkansas that's running a business that does that right now.
You ready to get one?
Dude, I told you I would be interested. And we talked about that. Like,
You didn't want for that
Yeah.
at 25K, I think.
be a pretty cool business model. I don't know how long it'd take you to ROI that investment.
Yeah.
But if you could find somebody else to run it, so I wasn't getting these calls at night, that would be pretty cool.
Mhm.
I know what, obviously have it insured, but yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Especially with nobody doing it, what I mean?
I would just love to have it to do land surveys.
No joke. Yeah. Let me see what's happening
It's
here.
like I got this property over here.
Yeah.
Let's just go look and see how many deer we got.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be awesome.
Well, that's the cool thing about it. And they'll come down.
Oh, you know they will.
Yeah, they're going to come down.
On the technology, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's one thing about technology. It's continually coming down
Oh yeah. I
and
remember
getting better.
like we were talking about this the other day. It was like we were watching something, an older show, me and the wife. And anyway, they had like this same TV I had. It was like a Sony rear projection DLP, like top of the line back in the day, and I think I paid like $6,000 for it
Mhm.
and sold it for like $100.
Yeah.
I
Gave it away.
yeah, yeah. It was like, and it wasn't even that good compared to now.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you can buy like 4K TV for like $280.
Yeah, I seen this been years ago now, but I seen it. They said if the auto industry would have stayed up with the television industry,
Yeah.
you could buy a new car for like $800.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as like the price,
Oh yeah.
with the
I
technology.
was reading Body Shop magazine a couple days ago. We get these magazines in. Anyway, I like to kind of keep up with the times a little bit, but they basically took like a 2024 Ford Explorer and they broke it down like, all right, this car cost, I forgot what it was, $48,000, depending on the option or whatever. And if you like talk about markup on parts, if you actually bought all the parts to build it, it would be like $640,000 or something crazy like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which, talking about technology, it's in the cars, it's bad, dude.
Oh, I can imagine.
You can't take a mirror off a car now without reprogramming a whole bunch of stuff.
I can
Front
imagine.
bumper, take a bumper off, got to reprogram it. Don't start the car up or all the lights. It's ridiculous.
Mercy.
Luckily, I subbed that side out. I don't think it's a good business model for me to try to do that. I make 25% on having somebody else do it. I think I'm out.
You don't want to touch all that mess?
No. I do the little bit I can do with my scan tool. I do it, but that stuff, they lay out chalk lines and level the car and put up these signs and like, yeah, I'm 51. I don't want to learn that.
Well, see, we talked about the other day, the technology, even in what I do.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
It's like a high dollar cup of coffee now out of one machine, straight from the bean to the cup.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot going on there, brother.
Well, I told you we were at, where was it? Maybe Dallas or Houston one. I was like, I want a coffee. And they didn't have like they did. Maybe it wasn't by our game. We were running out of time. Anyway, there was a scenario where there was two coffee shops right across from each other, no name brands. One of them was unmanned. It was a robot. You just press the button, the robot says, and like put your coffee in there and then brings it over and drops it in the window.
Oh, wow.
And then the other one was, people making your coffee. So like, I don't know, man. Either one of them could be good or bad. It's not a name that we know. It's not Seven Brew or it's not me making it at the house.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to go over here and just like, I'm doing the robot.
I just want to see it.
I want to see this thing go.
So, there you go. I may be working on robots in the next few
there you
years.
go. Yeah.
Who knows?
Not me. I'm out. I'm selling at that point. Like, who wants this company?
And technology's going everywhere, man. It's just part of our world now. And
Yeah, like I said, we can't stop it. There's good and bad with it. I've always been kind of in. It's kind of like we were talking about the muzzle loader. You know what I mean? That deal.
Mhm, yeah.
Like, I can't believe we go to it. And me, I'm like, good reason to buy lever action. I'm all in on this thing. I was like,
Yeah. Was it 4570?
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
oh, I've been wanting one of those for a while, man, since I was, 7 years old watching Gunsmoke.
Matt Locke, or what was his name? Matt, or whatever his name.
Yeah. The sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, gosh, I should remember that.
Jeez, I already forgot too.
I was him for Halloween for like 6 years in a row. So I should.
Now you got the gun.
Yeah. But yeah, so that side of it, there's a lot of grumblings and rumblings about that. Me, I was like, yeah, it's as long as they don't come back and change it now, which I mean, I wanted the gun anyway, but it's like, I figure like next year they're probably going to say it has to be a single shot or something crazy that makes me have to buy a single shot, whatever, 350 Legend or something. I don't know.
I don't know. For me, it's in my kind of, like I said, stepping back and looking at it, it just seems like it takes less skill now to be a deer hunter.
No question. Admittedly, even on my end, that's,
Yeah, no, and we all use it. I'm not saying that. I mean,
Yeah.
I use it. I'm gonna be the first to tell you I use technology. I
Yeah.
was slow to the game, but I'm here now,
yeah.
and I ain't going back.
Yeah.
but
No,
but
that's it.
but it's just like the old fashioned learning how to do something the hard way
Yeah.
kind of goes away.
Yeah.
That bothers me a little bit.
Well, the upside of that is the skills that we have, the woodsmanship and everything that we have,
Mhm.
you're still,
Yeah.
you're still way ahead. Now we cheat just by having our own properties, honestly.
Sure.
But I mean,
I realize most people
there's a
don't.
lot of work that goes into,
Sure.
and you can see what happens with me.
Yeah.
I didn't kill a deer this year, even though I drilled twice and,
Yeah.
did all that stuff and still didn't kill an animal. But I did pass a lot of deer.
Sure.
A lot of decent deer.
Yeah.
3.5-year-olds. And so I can't complain. I did have some, okay deer on my place. But, once you cross a certain threshold of what
Yes.
makes you happy, it's kind of like technology. It's tough to go backwards, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to kill a 2.5-year-old 100-inch deer. I just don't. I'd rather kill a doe, That's kind of where I'm at. But, the good and bad and the ugly of all of it is, you're not going backwards. But I mean, if you're even, a little bit of a savage in this time and day, being Gen Xers and being raised the way we were, you're just a little bit ahead of the other guys.
I agree.
You are. I mean,
I agree.
I hate it for anybody that's not, but I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. I
Yep.
see it every day.
Yeah.
In business and taking risks. There's these kids nowadays, they don't want no part of that stuff, man.
Yeah. No.
Not all of them. Like I said, there's definitely,
there's definitely some that,
there's some
that are
exceptions to
ready to rock and roll. Yeah, I'm with you on it.
Yeah.
100%.
We were talking about that the other day. It's like, man, what would you do? And it's like, man, honestly, I couldn't do it. My brain wouldn't allow me to, but I'd probably like, if I wanted to just make money, I'd like figure out how to write code or some of these guys are, Silicon Valley dudes making millions of dollars, just whatever they do.
Coming up with something.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't sit in one spot that long, but
yeah.
suffer from ADD and, all that kind of stuff.
ADHD. Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff. Like my attention's, but I got to really dial it in if I want to, try to do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Again, I'm not disparaging technology at all.
Oh no. Yeah.
But
it's here. So.
But it's just, I really thought about it a lot. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different than it used to be.
Oh, it's way different. But I mean, so is everything else.
Sure.
We just talked about it. Like, we grew up with party lines.
Yeah.
What was a cell phone? And you were talking about holding down cell cams. I held out on an iPhone forever. I was the Razor guy. I'm like, I'm not getting rid of it. I mean, iPhone is stupid. Who needs all that crap on their phone? And now it's like, it's my super computer,
me too.
In my hand. It's like it does. I haven't got a pretty nice laptop, but I use my phone 95% of the time. It's like, let's do it right on my phone.
Because you can.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do everything from right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you. I'm there too. My whole business is run off this little device right here.
Exactly.
So yeah, I know all about it. But no, that was a topic, dude. I just wanted to talk.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get your thoughts on it, just because your start was different than my start was.
Yeah.
And did you feel the way I felt about it? And again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just
the downside.
It's a different world.
The downside is people aren't learning the old way.
Yeah.
And that goes for, like we were talking about this the other day with, what did I watch? Something on History Channel. I'm a big History Channel guy. I watch all these shows. Gosh dang it.
Yeah,
it was something about when the people were kind of coming to, going to California and like, basically making America, they were like trying to set their own deal, make their own land and find their own place and all that stuff. It's like, I think I'm a pretty tough guy. Like everybody's telling me I got a tough, high pain tolerance. I'm a pretty tough dude. Nothing really bothers me. My chiropractor was like, man, my neck's kind of bothering me. He said, you think it's stress? I'm like, nope. Definitely not stress. I don't really stress a whole lot. It's not really my jam, but you think you're a pretty tough dude, then you watch something like that. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Those were tough people.
No question, dude. I mean, like the stuff they went through.
Oh my gosh.
Like, here's the deal for me. Like I said, I think I consider myself a pretty gritty dude, but if my house gets back above like 67, I can't sleep.
I'm out.
Oh my gosh, it's so hot in here. Like that's one thing,
Yeah.
Outside, I'll sweat with the best of them, but when I get ready to sleep, it needs to be winter time.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. So yeah, you go back 75 years and it didn't exist.
Well, I grew up with no AC. I mean,
Yeah.
the first AC place we had was a little trailer house we bought over here on 2 acres. Like, oh my gosh, we got
This
air
is the
conditioning.
greatest thing.
Now we couldn't run it unless it got like, started melting the candles in the house because electricity was too high. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so when I got my own place, dude, I kept it frigid and I've never turned back.
That's
Yeah.
where you stay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you look at it from way back and you realize how soft we actually are
100%.
compared to what the,
Yeah.
the old days folks
Yeah.
went through.
Yeah, it was mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. You were
I
cold.
think it was, what was the name of the show? I had, I think it made Horizon or something like that. It was a whole series and they were traveling across and like the stuff they went through was like,
the Lewis and Clark stuff and all that.
kind of, yeah, like that. Yeah.
Pocahontas and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. People just died, dude.
Yeah.
They just died.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the big bear didn't eat you, something else.
Yeah,
you
you got
just
an arrow in the neck.
Yeah,
and a
you got
snake,
sick and
snake
died.
bit you while you're peeing on a tree, and like,
Like,
man,
you're
this
dead.
guy's not going to make it, man. We got to cut him loose. Like,
That's why the average age, if you're an old man, if you're in your 40s.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and oof, yeah, that's rough. I watched this show now. It's called like Homestead Rescue, and I tell my wife all the time, hey, we're fixing a homestead. We're gonna get off the city water. We're gonna do windmill for power. No more cable. No more Hulu. None of this stuff.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "No, I gotta watch the football games, and like I gotta have my air conditioning in here. Like I'm never doing that."
Well, I kind of think sometimes I would like to be a minimalist and
Yeah.
just have what I need to survive
Yeah.
and nothing else.
It's a cool thought.
It really is.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I kind of like that. And
Yeah.
this feels really nice.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, yeah. No question.
So yeah, I'm as spoiled as anybody else. Don't get me wrong, but
Well, before we get off here, I want to ask you. So when you go out like to like end of season and you're going to like kind of take care of stuff and pull cameras, how does your van do like as far as like crossing creeks and stuff?
well, so if you go in after a mass of snow and it thaws, everything is like really, really soupy.
Yeah.
And you try to cross a creek in a front wheel drive van,
Says-
it just ain't going to happen, brother. And so, yeah, I called this guy
Yeah.
and he come down there in his 4-wheel drive truck and pulled me out.
Yeah. Dude, when I first got there, I told you this probably like 3 times when I was there that day, but I didn't know where the gate was for sure. So I actually went to the Transformers there. I could barely see like the top of your van because you were down that creek, and I was like, oh my God.
He's gone.
Like, I don't know if I should even get in this spot, or I might go back to get the trailer and my tractor or the something like, but it wasn't too bad. So,
Yeah. Well, that front wheel drive van just wouldn't climb up the other side of that.
yeah, you weren't really even stuck.
I couldn't even go backwards or forward. It made me so mad, dude. I'm like, I'm going to have to call somebody.
Yeah.
Look, wait, I know Chris may be home.
Yeah. Yeah, I finally took the chains out of the back of my truck yesterday.
Did you?
I had 2 chains and this milk crate deal. I was keeping it out by the tractor, and it's like in my truck. It's like, I got to get that out, and I drive home, never forget. And then finally yesterday, I was like, all right, I'm gonna grab these chains out of here.
We hooked the chain up, and I've got one little hook on the back of that van.
Yeah.
And you literally just like put it in reverse,
Yeah.
and I was out.
Done. Yeah.
I was out.
I probably could have just leans against your front of your truck. And
I was so mad, dude. I could not believe that. But
yeah, good
so
times.
That does happen.
Yeah.
I need a 4-wheel drive truck.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up today.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
See you.